Hello guys and welcome back to another design tutorial. So in this tutorial I'm going to be recreating this design of mine on Figma. So this is a design I made earlier. I'm going to be recreating this and explaining every single step and every single process. So if you're new to my channel, ensure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I drop new tutorials later on in the future. So without further delays, let's get started. So as you can see, this is a blank canvas. I haven't done anything. We're going to be starting afresh. So you know the drill. The first thing to do is to create a frame. So I'm going to be selecting the iMac frame. Okay, this is it. So I'll just extend it a little and let's zoom out a little. Okay. All right, so I'm going to rename this to Pepsi design. All right, so I'll apply a fill color. Currently it's set to white, so I'm going to change the fill color to 070 A A4E A4E. All right, so that's the color for the background, and I'm going to create some gradient fill by creating an ellipse tool and drawing it somewhere around here. I'm going to rotate this like this to create a form of linear gradient, and I'm going to add an effect to it. Let's close this. So the effect is going to be not drop shadow but layer blur, and I'm going to be increasing the blur amount to 500. Okay, so let me increase this a little and bring it in here. Okay, let me make it smaller, make it bigger than here. Okay, so I'm going to put it in here and I am going to clip contents, bring it to the front. Excellent. All right, so I will lock this in position so it doesn't move. Okay, so we have our gradients. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start typing some text. So say classic, and I'm going to change the font size to 48. So I want to use Rubik. Okay, and I'm going to change this from regular to medium to create some form of hierarchy. Okay, so I'll put this somewhere around here. Let's bring it down a little. Okay, so I'll duplicate this and I'm just going to write the content of the drink. It's not properly aligned, I'll align it later, so I'll just write the content of the drink. So let's see, carbonated water, high fructose, corn syrup, caramel color, sugar, and phosphoric acid, caffeine, citric acid, natural flavor. Okay, so I'm going to change the font size to let me change the font size to 16 because it's too big as it is. Change it to 16, and I'm going to remove this from medium to regular, and I'm going to align it properly like so. Perfect. Okay, so next, let me see, duplicate this and give this natural, okay, nutritional fats. So I'm going to change this from regular to medium, and I'm going to put it somewhere around here, align it properly. Okay, good, we're getting there. Okay, so the next thing I'll do is to write some other text. I'll just duplicate this and write a random text. Rich in energy, our drinks will revitalize your body and get you ready for the day's activities. Okay, excellent. So I'm going to change it from regular to light, and I'm going to change the text to 14. Change it to 14, and I'll put it here. Sweet. So I'm going to create the nav bar. So I'll take a text. I'm going to be using auto layer to create the nav bar. So the first thing there is products. So I will add an auto layout, shift A, and then I will duplicate this, and add auto layouts to the two, and I'll just go in here, go to the first auto layouts and start duplicating. Ctrl D, Ctrl D, Ctrl D, Ctrl D. Okay, so after products, what's new, and after what's new, newsletter, and after that about us, and after that contact us. So we don't really need the last one, which is from 6, so I'm just going to delete it. Okay, so we are actually in the products bar. So I'm going to, what I'll do is to highlight everything in here and change this from light rather to regular, to bring it out. Regular. Okay, now since we are currently on the products page, I'm going to make the products medium. This is the current page, so it has to be bolder than the others. All right, so the next thing I'll do is to increase the spacing between the items because they are currently too close together. So the spacing between items currently set at 0, so let me set that to 25. We'll push it aside. Okay, 25 is too much, let's make it 20. Okay, so nav bar is set, so I'll set it up here, somewhere around here. Okay, perfect. And then the next thing I'll do is to create primary button at the top using auto layout. So I'll create another one and say buy products, font size 14. Okay, perfect. Add auto layouts, and let me increase this and align it to the center. um, let me give it a radius of 50, border radius of 50, and add a stroke, not fill. I'm going to add a stroke and make the stroke color white. Okay, so next thing, I'll increase the stroke width to 2 so it stands out, and I'll increase the padding to 15, and I'll increase this to 20. Let me undo that, and let me just increase this like so. Okay, so the font size, I'm going to make it, okay, it's currently set at 14. Okay, that's good. Let's leave it like so. So I'll just bring it here using the style guides, the guidelines, to make sure it's aligned properly. So just move this in here a little. Okay, all right. So the next thing to do, I will just duplicate this button and I'll bring it this way, align it properly. Okay, buy products, and I'm going to change this to buy now. Instead of buy products, change it to buy now. Okay, and I'm going to reduce the button a little, way too long. I'll reduce this as well. Okay, the next thing I'll do is to bring in the social media icons that are at the left. So I already downloaded the SVG. So I'll just bring it from my downloads folder. So these are the SVG files. They can't be previewed. So Facebook, click on that. What's the next one? Instagram, hold control to select multiple files. Twitter, what's the next one? LinkedIn. Okay, so this is everything. So I'll just click and drag it into my canvas here. All right. So here they are. We'll have to, as you can see, they are in a frame, so I have to remove them from the frame. So for the LinkedIn, I'll group everything and name it link, short form, and move it outside of the frame and delete this empty frame. Because if you don't do that, you can't apply color to it. So this is a vector, I don't have to group it, bring it out and delete the empty frame. Let's go to Instagram. Okay, you see I have to group this. There are multiple files. Ctrl G to group, rename it Insta. That's mine. You can give it any name you want. Delete the empty frame. Facebook, ellipse. Okay, Facebook right here. Okay, so I'll just move it outside the frame and delete this empty frame. So having done that, I can now apply color to them to bring them out. So currently the stroke color is set to black, so I'll change it to white, and I'll change the stroke width from 2 to 1.5. And then I will apply auto layout, Shift A, and I'll change the direction from horizontal to vertical. And then also I'll increase the spacing between the items from 5 to 15. They're still packed together, so let's increase this to 25. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's bring it inside the frame, and then let's bring it this way. Let's align it to the center and shift it to the edge using our shift and directional keys. All right, okay, it's perfect there. Okay, the next thing I'll do right now is let me move this up a little, and move this downwards a little. Okay, so next thing I'll do now is to write the nutritional facts. So I'll take a text tool and come here and say you can write anything here. Sugar syrup, sugar syrup. um I'll duplicate this and bring it down, write the value of 180 centiliters, and okay, I'll write another one as well by duplicating this, bring it down. Now change the value to, let me just leave it at that. You can change the content later. So I'm going to highlight everything here. I'll highlight everything here because I'll need to apply auto layouts to it, and you to move it up. Okay, so the first two, the sugar syrup and the one etc, the first two, I'll apply auto layouts to the two. So I will highlight the two of them and I'll apply auto layout to shift A. I'll align it to the center like so, and let me increase the size of the one etc so it can come out very well. So I will increase it to, which size will be okay? Let me increase it to 24. 24 should do. 24. Okay, and I'll change this from light to medium. Okay, perfect. So this will, instead of light, I'll make it regular. Make it regular. Perfect. So the auto layout that I applied earlier, I'm going to add some horizontal margins and vertical margins. 2020. Let me see if sufficient. Let's align it properly. Okay, so I'm going to add a fill color. Here's the fill. Add a fill color of 646693. You are going to be memorizing lots and lots of color codes as product designer, so get used to it. Okay, let me see if I can make this darker, make it look like background, but not that much. Let me just play around it until I find something suitable. Okay, this should do. Alright, this should do. Alright, so I'll also apply auto layouts to this. So let me change this as well from light to regular, and shift A to add auto layouts. Now I have to use the same values that I used for the other one. Now there are two ways I can do it. I can just drag this to the edge here and drag this to the edge here and change it to center, and also add a fill. And the code I'll be using will be 646693. Okay, and I'll make sure it's aligned to this one perfectly like so. Now I have to change the auto layout settings from I have to change here from hog to fixed height in case I change the content, and this one also I have to change it from hog to fixed width as well as fixed height so that it can be responsive when I want to change the contents. Alright, so the next thing I'll do is to add this auto layout to this auto layout and add another auto layout and align it to the center, and then I will click and drag this. Oh, not that, that's not the whole frame. Okay, so I'll click and drag this out like so, using the guidelines to make sure it's properly aligned, like so should do. Okay, let me take it apart a little further, not too much, but should still be aligned. All right, like so, and then I'll Ctrl D, Ctrl D, Ctrl D. There are 5 items, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, complete. And then change the content. I'm not going to be changing the contents since we've added the two layouts. If I want to change the content, it wouldn't break. See that it's going outside because this auto layout is fixed. So that's it. Let's undo that. So you can change the content on your own. The next thing I'll do now is to make this is 14, I'll make it 12. Okay, shift it close to that one, and the next thing I'll do is to create the one at the edge, but before I do that, let me bring in the logo. So I'll bring in the logo, go to my downloads folder to bring the logo. So go to desktop, go to tutorial files. I believe that's what I named it, tutorial files. And these are the 3 pictures that I'll be needing. So I'll just drag everything onto my canvas right here, like so. I believe it's been added. Let's zoom out, find out. Okay, it's been added. You can see they are abnormally large. I'll have to reduce this, their file sizes. So let me highlight every single one of them. Let me highlight every one of them and scale it down way too big. Perfect. Well, not perfect yet. Undo that. Make it smaller still. Zoom in. Okay, so let's start with the logo. I'll bring the logo in here and I'll make it smaller. Because this is an SVG, I can't edit the color because the contrast ratio for the text Pepsi is actually terrible right now. But since it's a PNG rather, I won't be able to edit it. So that's the advantage of using SVGs to PNGs. If it's a PNG, I'll be able to change the color of the Pepsi to white to increase the contrast. But since it's a PNG, I can't do that. Alright, so the next thing I'll do is to make this. Let me bring this in. I'm going to rotate this and I'm going to make this 75. Okay, and then I'm going to scale it, make it big, and I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to put it right here. I can still make it bigger, I believe. Perfect. And then I bring this in here, scale it also, not as big as the other one of course, and I'll put it somewhat around here, and then I'll bring this one to the front. Perfect. And then the next thing I'll do is to create a form of a shadow because it's too straight as it is. So I'll create a form of a shadow by drawing a rectangle like so, and then I'll double click on it to enter the vector editing modes. Then I'll just drag this like so, and drag this like so, drag this like so, something like this, bring this like so. Okay, let's go into the vector mode again, make this like this. Okay, and I believe I'm done. Okay, so I'll bring it down a little bit and I'm going to give it a feel of pure black for the shadow, and I'm going to add an effect excuse me, effect, and I'm going to set the blur to, I'm going to change it from drop shadow to layer blur, background blur, layer blur. Okay, and I'm going to change this to 500. Okay, no, not layer blur. Let me change it to background blur. 500. Okay, 1000. Okay, I guess it should be layer blur then. Layer blur, and let's change this to, let's say 25. Let's say 5. It's still not sufficient. Let me reduce the fill from 100% to like 25% or 50. Let me customize the shadow a little bit. I'll send this to the front of course. I'll send this to the front. Okay, that's okay where it is. So I'll just believe I'll rotate this. Let me rotate this like so. Okay, all right. Then I can take this to 80 maybe, the form of a shadow, and edit this folder. Bring this down here like so. Click on done. All right. Shadow still looks a bit too big for me. Let me reduce it a little bit. And layer below, let's make it 50, about 560. I just reduce the opacity. That's not what I plan to do. So let me change this to 60, about 60. How about 5, okay, 10. All right, that's perfect. Okay. So I don't remember the exact value that I used for the shadow. I can't remember the exact value that I used for the shadow, but it's still okay as that is. Okay. The next thing I'll do is to create the last element, which is the rectangle that's over here. I'll just draw a rectangle somewhere around here and fill it here like so. Maybe I'll take it here like so. Perfect. And then I'll fill it with this color. Okay. And then I'll duplicate this, fill the remaining parts with this color, drag this side down and fill it with this color maybe. Okay. Then I'll write text 330 mil. So let's just duplicate this instead of writing a new text. Bring it over here and write 330 milliliters. Okay. So I'm going to make this bigger from 16 to 24. So I'm going to bring this in here and I'll order it to the front. Okay. So let's zoom in a bit and focus on this. So I'll click on this box and align it to the center. Not that center per se. Center like so. Alright. And then I'll write a random text. Duplicate. Let me make it smaller. Like 12 or so. 12. Okay. So what should I write in here? Let me just write energy drink. Okay. So I'll highlight this and this and align it to the center. I can add to layout, I can group it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it like so. So after doing this, remember everything has to be done inside of the frame. So after doing this like this, I'm going to add a shadow to this. But before I do that, let me draw the background that I'll be using. So I'll draw the background that I'll be using, which is somewhat like this. That's too small, bro. Make it bigger and like so. And bring the design to the front. And I'm going to change this to the same color as the design. Yes, that's what I'll do. And then the next thing I'll do is this. Excuse me. Bring this to the front. Okay. So this background right here, let's see design. I'm going to clip contents and I'm going to put this rectangle, not this one, the other one that has effects, this one. I'm going to put it in here. All right, perfect. So this Pepsi design, I'm going to align it to the center like so. Okay, and then I'm going to add a shadow to differentiate it from the background. So effects, drop shadow, perfect. I'm going to customize this. X is going to be 0, yeah, and Y should be 4. The blur should be 50, and the opacity should be 100%. Okay, there. There might be some slight changes because the values, if I wanted the same exact values, the measurement and everything has to be the same. But if I'm not using the exact value, as you can see, I wasn't going back and forth from the original design. But if I were doing that, I would go to the original design, check the value that I used, come here, use the same value, would have gotten exact copy of the design. But if you look at it closely, you can't really tell the difference that much. So that's how you design this beautiful landing page on Figma. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe right now, hit the notification bell so you get notified because I'll be dropping the new tutorial very soon. Thank you so much for watching and see you guys soon.